another hard breath. And inhale. Inhale. Oh, Namo Keep up breath. And now we are continuing for Sahej, Harimander, and Nora. And begin. And inhale. And exhale. And now we will learn from Baba Siri Chand about our conception. So this one is about, there are people who call about evil, E-V-I-L. So listen to Baba Siri Chand. Be sure that you are not listening for everyday self. You understand that? Only listen to Baba Siri Chand for 3 minutes. So begin. And inhale. Exhale. So, Agyapa.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
This it's kind of funny that this be our topic, because I'm on the exact page of the Revelations of the Aramaic Jesus that talks about evil.
Oh,
And yeah, and the word in Aramaic for evil is bisha, Bisha, and it if there's a couple, I could just read a couple of lines. He says the view of evil in ancient Semitic languages centered around unripeness, that which is either too early, too late, or so cut off from reality that it can no longer ripen in a natural, healthy way. Today we would call that that which is so extremely cut off narcissistic, and it can do great harm. So in the Aramaic Lord's Prayer, the translation is, don't let us enter chronic forgetfulness of soul and source. On the contrary, release us from acting unripely, not in tune with ourselves' healthy purpose. So basically, he's saying that, evil, it's not that evil doesn't exist, it's when we don't act in tune with our soul and what our soul is. I guess the word is ripeness, but when we don't act in. So okay, so for me, what I heard from Baba is anything that takes me away from soul, either by my forgetfulness, or my my ignorance, or my frustration, or my anger, would be considered not in a loving way, and therefore quote unquote evil. So what Baba was saying is that evil is really when I don't act in my soul, according to the guidance of my soul. So I kind of like fall into a place of not listening, of and a place of not where I belong, which is with soul. And sometimes Baba said, we're tempted by, when we are really we have a lot of light and so forth, then darkness is drawn to us. And again, Baba, Baba didn't say that that's evil, but that is against, or that which is, that repels the light, is drawn to us, and that's our challenge, to stay in the light and not be drawn out of the light, and that would be evil.
mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense.
Yes, it does. Well, thank you so much. Now,
Sure.
There are a couple of things that I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Because what you were talking about, I believe, from you talking about you and your soul. Is that right?
My experience of the last thing I talked about was my experience of yeah, but also what Baba um mentioned.
Okay. So
But
within,
I feel like when I'm, very open and say I'm out in nature and so forth, thing I don't know how to say this, but the darkness, the things that happen negatively come to me, come to my mind, and kind of destroy my peace. Um, and I let that happen, and that is something I have to work on.
mhm. Okay, and how do you do that?
Well, when I'm aware of it, I ask Soul, please help me to stay connected to you and to not fall into the trap or down the rabbit hole of unbelief, disbelief, and so forth.
Okay.
So I think the key is when I get tripped up is when I forget soul and that I am in soul, soul's in me, and that's when I get tripped up.
Uh-huh. Okay. Now I want to ask you again. Oh, wait a minute. Don't get trapped. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, so
Mm-hmm.
what what happens when you have Trump? Then what? Is that evil or those situations or those groups or what happens with that evil?
Mm. Yeah, that's a great question. Interestingly enough, I have not allowed myself to get into a space of um of hatred and I don't think I've repressed it. Um Actually the other day I walked around the house and said, I hate everything that's going on in this government. I hate so I at least I got it all out. And but I think with respect to Trump and to uh all of the people, like the evil people, well, I would say evil people, but um you know um I really don't know uh how. I mean, I have to sit with Soul. um I really don't know how um to handle that. I mean, I pray to Soul. I said, for our highest and best, that there's an awakening, and whatever happens is all for our highest and greatest good. Um, and I try not to give a lot of energy to my hate of 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 psychopathic sycophants that suffocate the lifeblood out of unsuspecting um, unsuspecting people. Um, and I can only do what I can do, and um, I try to bring love and send love. And if like Trump were here, um, I would, I would, um, well, at least I would try to send love and kindness and um, to him. But Trump is a
Ooh.
mindset, and to everybody, sort of like what I think is it's he's providing anyway. It's a mindset for a lot of people who are fearful, and so I pray for all of that. I pray for awakening, for people to begin to really think and connect with soul. And I don't know if that's too much to ask,
Mhm.
and to connect with soul and to be beacons of light and to be stewards of love and light and not be lazy or afraid. Courage has been coming up a lot in my meditation. Um, Courage, faith and trust, and trusting soul always. Um, yeah, so that's um I refuse to get all wound up and tied up in knots around uh this issue of Trump and the mindset around it. I'd rather be a beacon of light, the highest of the highest light, to be of healing service in whatever way I can be. Um, yeah,
Mhm. Good. Wait a minute. Good.
yeah, yeah. Just that's what I think.
No,
You know, because if
it's
I let myself get into a place of, oh, this asshole, I can't stand, I just want to rip him from no,
mhm,
because that just brings me down.
mhm. Okay. Because what you're saying is only love, right?
Yeah, it is only love.
Hmm. Good for you. So that love, what you're talking about, is about the other mindset that you're talking about.
Yep.
It's talking about Trump,
Mm-hmm.
is, is talking about other people, including wonderful, um, wonderful, good people
Yep.
who are pushing evil. Is that what
Mm-hmm.
you're saying?
That they don't understand that um it's not necessarily that they're aware of,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I mean, the Trump flags around here when I see them say, um, take back America. So they have this, I think there's a belief that there's certain people who belong here and some people who don't belong here, and they, according to their own experiences, um, that they go along with this mindset of let's take back America, um, whatever. that means. And I wish I could climb a flagpole because there's somebody down the street that has one of these flags that's flying. But anyway, but that's not, that's not
Okay,
good either.
right. Now, there's another thing that other people who are, I'm just going to say Democrats,
Yeah.
but they keep having evil about Trump.
Yep.
And so what do you say?
Um, well, they um I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not saying I don't know what I'm saying. I'm saying that, a lot of times, um, um, well, I don't know. There's something I want to say, but it's not really coming. Isn't that interesting? It's blocked.
Mm,
Um, but so, um, yeah, sometimes say, okay, so for example, um, I think in general, sometimes people say and think what they really want to think, and they're not in
hmm
tune with their heart.
hmm
And the lake property that we just sold, they just put an herbicide in the lake. I call it a poison. And there are some people that are saying, well, this is terrible. And other people are saying, oh, you're saving the lake this way.
hmm
And people will find research to support both sides. So,
hmm
so my feeling, just as an analogy, with Trump and Biden and um, I don't get, I try not to get too involved with politics because I feel that it just gets me all riled up. And
hmm
so I just want to, I just decide, okay, I'm going to be the love. And if, this guy down the street who says he's a Christian and waves the Trump flag, and sure, I walk by and sure, it irks my nerve and I get really upset, but I'm kind to him.
hmm
And, I'll wave to him, and I don't understand where he's coming from.
hmm
But, uh, I think in general, people are saying now, oh, uh, if Trump gets in, LGBT people, look out. There's going to be more violence against and LGBTQ plus people, and so look out. And so going back to sort of a previous, I'm talking too much, but anyway, a previous mindset of anything that's anyone who's different than you are is a threat. And I'm afraid, I fear that that's what is potentially on the horizon.
hmm
So I think we have to stay connected,
hmm
all of us, and stay in love and be kind no matter what.
There you go. Wonderful.
I don't know, but
Great.
that's as far as as I have gone with all of this.
Mm-hmm. Good. Well, thank you so much, dear.
Oh, thank you for listening and asking.
Yeah. Okay. So, Gian das Prem from Evil from Baba Siri Chand.
Satnam, thank you. That was beautiful. So,
Yeah.
Baba
Mm-hmm.
Siri Chand, what Baba Siri Chand was very visible, and it was just because the words live and evil, they come together, right? They're the same, and it was a rectangle piece of cardboard or whatever he's showing it to me with, and just flipping the sign over and going, flipping it over and flipping it over and flipping it over back and forth. And what comes out of that? How do I see that? Is it the mirror image coming back to me? Is it myself? Is it my perception of the word? Is it the other words that are trying to come through in that? But there is sort of that mirror effect that we have our perception of the understanding of the word. But then through listening to Aggie Paul, I was somehow brought to a place where I was, back to that laughter of how sometimes we laugh and we notice ourselves, and then we notice the other part of ourselves that has us cry, right? And that beauty of that noticing that comes through when we notice that, that our subjectivity or our victimization or our witnessing, it's a witnessing, right? And I think in that noticing the liveness, the evil, the lives, it's part of our way of seeing what we're seeing, right? Is it hard? Is it easy? Is it, and then, it's continuously for me, with the Waheguru and the breathing of that, the in with the, truth and out with the disease, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we're coming to this place where we're noticing, but you know, the way of that, the word of that word, do you want to live or do you want to be evil? And then he's sort of, tapping, 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 and then, slapping me with it in the face and saying this, we all notice at times that we have been hurt, and sometimes we've been subjected with behavior that we've been forced to do physically by somebody else. And that, I think, in a sense, can become evil, right? Someone forcing us to do something that we don't want to do. And I think if we look around, we see a lot of that in the rulership that's happening from, how long have we been here, so that our way hasn't changed, that we're coming back to that, noticing that simple sign. And, it's a swami. And at the end, what do? We take that sign, we take that word, we throw it, it's over, it's gone, it's gone. Back to our breathing, right? And here we are at this situation that I am made from water and dirt. Okay, right? Am I or am I not? Where is my noticing? What am I coming back to in that communication that's making me real, seemingly real here in an actual situation of being able to be with all of this free moving space that somehow has a way of communicating with me. And yeah, and there's a very playfulness in that, being, Baba Siri Chand, or being, my brother's dog that passed away the other day, that it somehow leaves this memory in us. It gives us this mental picture of that peace, that love that comes through, and that, turns the evil into a sort of understanding of, okay, I noticed that flipping of the live and the evil sign is having me notice what I have done in the past, and where's my correction coming through that way of speaking. That, we talk in a circle, and Aggie Apollo, that's how it made me notice myself when I listened to another person, having somewhat of a shared experience here as we are, and the numbers of us at billions of people, we're sharing a vibration that's, coming from that water and that sand and that finite, those particles that exist within us that allow us to move along, on this beautiful ride that we're here in that Wahigudu. Yeah. And yeah, and the blessings of that, I think, are really where we can notice in our celebrations, in our, yeah. And for me, it was like the walking around and saying, I don't like this, or I'm pissed at this place, or, and actually pound on the ground and say, make it change, make it change. I am the one that needs to change in order for that fullness to come back to me in that circle, right? In that statement of that satanam of coming back and following
Oh,
through that circle. Yeah.
can I
Yeah.
ask you something? So you
Yes.
were talking about vibration for, and then are you talking about the vibration for inside for you? And or are you talking about other people or both?
I think through myself and through Baba Siri Chand, what I'm in, just the knowing of like how the sand blows in the wind and when it spins, right? Um, there's a taste in color, right? There's a way of that we have these all of these thoughts and words, but and somehow there's another way that they'll come to us in a way that we maybe don't understand of that. What is taste and color, or what is seeing the variations of the color change. So it's everything together, right? Back to the water and the sand of how it is all a one. It's a symbiotic thing. And I do believe, it's how volcanoes have made, passages through the earth, and how earth travels, vibratory communications, you know, inside the earth, and we're all a part of that. And that shared vibration, I think, has been growing for so long and for so many years with humanity and with the other animals, that we're noticing the experience that have been here longer, and then noticing the sand that's been here, and then how the bubbles came out of the water, and back to that, simplicity of that being right inside of me, right? Like I am my own trillions of cells. And so basically, why is it not to say that I am my own planet? I am my own cosmos, right? Wahigudu. Yeah, so it is, I believe, that symbiotic, and it is noticeable in ways that we can, when we let go of those, words and all of those other things, and being in the breath can allow us to sort of notice, the difference between the day and the night, and how that magic happens of our noticing that we do have senses. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of speaking how words and how ideas were brought from the air and then put down onto paper, and then now put into our being, and then understood by our children who are coming out, understanding that inherent knowledge as something that may seem foreign to other people, but within that communication of the live and the evil, that there is a noticing of how somebody could work so diligently at something. And I think that if we have courage and notice, that we can accept it coming in, going through that circle, whether it's something physical that's representing itself to us in our daily lives, or something that we're thinking in our mind that we want to become, a physical reality, which is also possible in the noticing of how we leave our body, and, the Vedic sciences, and now the modern sciences of nano cameras and technology. Yeah. Why do all together.
Okay. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Okay. Japa Saraswati.
Satnam. I got some wordplay too with evil and devil. And so the way that I handle the devil is the same way that I handled George Bush Jr.'s presidency. For the entire presidency, I did not utter his name, not a single time. I didn't acknowledge him at all. And it's when I had already stopped watching TV, but I really was just not participating in um the news that included him. And I felt the same way I've handled the devil in exactly the same way. It's like I feel totally neutral about the devil because I'm pretty sure that there's a devil out there, but I just, for my
Did you
own,
listen? Wait a minute. Have you learned Baba Siri Chand about
yeah,
devil? Ask that. Ask that from Baba Siri Chand. Now.
well,
No, now. Listen.
he showed me like he's sticky and like he's gooey and like and not necessarily a he. Um, but it's like an energy that is definitely out there in the world, but the stickiness is like the way that it's tempting, that it can get on you, that it can bring you down and keep you stuck. It's like did you guys hear about the molasses flood in Boston in like 1919? There was a huge molasses explosion, and all of these people got stuck in the
Mm.
rivers of molasses running through the streets of the North End. And I see it like that, like the devil can make you get stuck right in your place, like right, just stuck right there. And it's also, it's got that stickiness and that dark sort of, I tamasic, like the tamasic energy is dark and fatty and oily and greasy and sticky. It's like that. But um the devil is definitely the devil.
Oh,
I just heard the devil is in the details. But but what I was saying before about like the way that I didn't acknowledge um the devil or evil is what Baba said to me when I was meditating is that it's not it's not not out there. In fact, it's definitely out there, and that this approach is a little bit with my head in the sand. Um, but um, he isn't telling me that I have to go dance with the devil. He isn't telling me that I have to go interact with it because I don't want to or something like that. Um, but he did show me, which was hard for me, that there is like a very dark, there's a dark plan, that there are dark forces, that there are very dark things happening in our society right now. And that if bad things happen to me, it's not because I'm bad or because I didn't meditate hard enough or pray hard enough or whatever, because of course I love to self-punish. So that message is for everybody that like if bad things happen in our lives, it's not that the devil is out to get us even, or that we could have done something necessarily different to avoid it, but that there is something, there are dark forces out there. And what I saw was also, I tried, this was the part that was hard for me because what I kept getting gravitated to was about how to be with my own light. And so first what Baba assured me is that my light has nothing to do with the dark. Like that it's not like that dark is going to get all over me and is going to like diminish my light, that I have to remind myself that my light is always there, and but that there are things that I can do to help myself with my light, to preserve my light, including like my sadhana and my spiritual practices, and coming back to breath work and self-care um, are some of the things to preserve our light. Um, but I really was trying to listen for more about evil and all I kept getting was about the light after that. So that's where I dropped the assignment, Siri Gian. I am sorry. I couldn't, that's as much as I focused.
Mm-hmm. That was good. That was very good.
Yeah.
And I like that you found that they were not, this dark is not about like persons or personality, but instead you're talking about vibration,
Mm-hmm.
or what did you call a set mind like that, or
Yeah.
vibration, or something of that sort.
Yeah.
And that in our world, right? And
Mm-hmm.
because you were talking about a plan, right? There were plans
Yes.
that had to
Yes.
do with dark. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes, there's, I'm feeling it's international and it's, um, I hesitate to say the Illuminati, like I don't know that that's who it is, but I feel that there's a group of very wealthy individuals that have set up a plan from a long, long time ago that is coming into fruition and it's sweeping many people. Like I feel that was the feeling that I was getting, is um that it's coming into fruition and that it's going to affect many people coming up soon. Um and it's really hard. I don't like it. I don't like it
Right.
at all. Um but it's not like, I guess that's what it's always been though. Like when I stopped watching the news and paying attention to George Bush, you know, um, it's always been there. It's always been as thus, and it doesn't change by me looking at it or not looking at it. So a long time ago, what I kind of realized and decided was that it was about me preserving my own headspace so that I can be the best version of the light that I can be. Um, oh, and you know what else I heard was about making the wrong choices, or not just the wrong choices, but like not listening to soul, not listening to our own inner voice, or doing the thing that we think is intentionally wrong. Like if you do a thing, not you, but if somebody does something that even though they know it's wrong, that it will hurt other people, that this is part of evil, and that most people are not trying to be evil. They're just kind of careless, but it has really big ramifications, and that, we as a society need to be more careful with each other. But more like, that we what I'm feeling with the people stuck in the molasses is
Mm-hmm.
like, stop struggling with it, because the more you struggle on it, the more the molasses gets stuck all over you, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And so it's kind of about conserving your energy and breathing and relaxing into it and waiting until, somebody comes to help liberate you, or until the rain comes and frees up the molasses. Um, but it's about not struggling against it, which is part of what I feel like I've done with not doing the media, is that I'm not struggling against what Fox News is saying, because I'm not watching Fox News. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not struggling with it. Um, it's still out there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you all so much. So, does everyone have any little thing that you want to say?
Yeah, I would love to to add something to what Japa Saraswati just said, and Gyandas Prem, this just put me in touch with something that really scares the hell out of me. The dark web. I believe it or not, I spent so many years doing computer science and artificial intelligence, and now I look at that and I say, oh my God, look what the evil, or look what bad things, sticky, talk about sticky. And people are using technology, like, I don't know if it's the Illuminati. I wouldn't be surprised that there are even more groups like that. But so I am trying to stay away, believe it or not, from technology, because there's so many scams, there's spam, there's people trying to steal a lot from people, and that that just I can feel it in my body when I talk about that, and I say to myself, okay, how do I send love and light to these people that are just pumping out this molasses, this evil, that they so I think that's something I need to meditate on, because I can't run away from it. So my fear about this is run away. Don't use it. Don't use technology. But yet look what it's doing for us. It's allowing us to connect. So there's, the dark and the light.
Okay. So are you talking, that you can't push against those vibrations or that energy?
Well, I feel very weak of pushing against that. I feel like I want to run away.
What do you do instead?
I shut my phone off. I make sure that I'm safe. I make sure other people are safe. As far as account, everything on their computers. But I think technology is a doorway for evil, and I'll say evil, to enter.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you one more thing.
Yeah.
How about something like frequency of forgiveness? Instead of, it certainly is not letting it go into you, but what about those feeling or that energy and so on? Would that work?
Do you think so? I'll try anything, really.
Okay,
because I want to be strong. Okay.
Okay, so go to Baba Siri Chand or Soul and say what's happening, say for light and frequency of forgiveness and so on, or change.
So, okay. So Baba and soul are both saying, stay close to me and you will be safe. And trust me, and I will trust me to keep you safe. And by fearing, interesting, by fearing these people and their thought patterns and so forth, you're giving them more power. And so like Japa Saraswati, didn't call that president by name. And certainly in Hebrew, if you call somebody by name, you have control over them. And that's why a lot of my Jewish friends, initially they don't call you by your name until they get to know you. But anyway, so by hating and fearing, I'm giving it all much more power. Not that I want to be naive, but I have to strike the balance of knowing it's there and staying close to soul, very close to soul, closer than ever before. Recognizing that soul will lead and soul I can trust. And as I say that, I feel the muscles in my body kind of relaxing. So not to fear, not to, give the evil dark forces power over me, which is what they want.
That's right.
Okay. Thank you.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Soul.
Okay. God bless you all. Okay. So now, Japa Saraswati, can you lead our song?
Okay. Inhale. May the time shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your will, guide your way, guide your way.
Inhale. Bless you all. And now you know what to do. That's it. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Love you all.
Bye.